So yeah, there's a couple of weeks left until Christmas. So now's a good time to start thinking about those last minute gifts that you need to get for people. And what we're going to be talking about this week is our kind of alternative holiday gift guide for the designers and developers, programmers in your life. So hopefully none of this stuff is too typical, but it'll all be pretty useful and probably should be appreciated by those sorts of people. Definitely would appreciate this anyway. I would. Yeah. So one thing that I would like anyway, as a designer, is a good sketchbook. So it's always good when you're doing wireframing or just even taking notes, just to have like a good quality book on your table
Yeah.
at all times. The one that I use is a Behance dot grid sketchbook. It's quite a large one. Well, it's a US size. It's not A4. It's slightly bigger than that. Yeah, and it's really good quality paper. It lays flat when it's open.
Yeah.
Pens don't bleed through it.
Nice.
And it's got the dot grid, so you can get nice sort of neat wireframing on there and get your sizes all right.
Yeah, that's one thing, the bleed thing. I've got one sketchbook that I'm currently using. It's about A5 size, and it bleeds through the other side. And I paid about £6-7 for it. And I don't know, maybe it's the type of ink I'm using.
I think this dot grid Behance one is more around the sort of £15 mark, £15 to £20 mark.
Right, okay. Yeah.
They may be cheaper now. I bought it a little while ago. And yeah, that's one of the things. That's the quality of the paper, so that when you are inking your sketches afterwards, whether you're using like markers or highlighters or even like just fine line pens, you don't get too much bleed. You still get a little bit, obviously, especially if you're using like a Sharpie, then you will get some. But for most pens, it's pretty good. Just means you're not wasting the other side of the paper as much.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I just can't use the other side. So yeah, I'll have a look at that one as well. Might have to invest.
Yeah, so get your designers a nice set of sketchbooks. Maybe throw in some pens and pencils as well if they're, if you want to get like a set of things. Just to point out, what we're trying to aim for this list is gifts that are sort of below £100, $100, €100, whatever your local currency is. So things that won't break the bank. Maybe you could get someone, a couple of these things on this list if you're feeling generous as well. Yeah. All right. So what about programmers? What do programmers love?
Programmers. Oh, that's a thing, isn't it? I'm a bit of everything. So, I might like headphones. Headphones definitely a big one. I recently invested in a set of Beats by Dre, the wireless ones, but they're more than £100. So if we're looking at, I don't know which ones you probably look at.
Well, the thing is, you can get some pretty good noise cancelling headphones.
That's what I find hard. 100. I find that so difficult to find noise cancelling ones for under £100, like a decent one, like a reputable kind of brand.
Well, the ones that I use at work, they're the Sennheiser HD 400S. I can't remember exact model number. I basically did a review of them on YouTube a little while ago.
Right. Okay.
And they were £70, and they are pretty good. They're good for when you're using them at your desk, because one thing they haven't got is they don't have an inline volume control, which is the only thing that I don't like about them. But they've got an inline mic, so they're good for conference calls. And then the actual sound quality is decent as well.
Yeah.
And it hasn't got active noise cancelling, but they've got quite a sealed background where, it blocks out all the sound from around the office.
Right.
But you can get sort of in-ear headphones for around about £30 to £50 as well, which have noise cancelling in them. They may not necessarily be your top brands, your Sennheiser or your Apple or, Beats. But, the quality is just as good, if not better in some of these anyway. So, it's worth shopping around, and you could probably get some really good ones. And, it's a good thing for programmers and designers and everyone else as well, because it allows you to block out your environment and just focus on your work.
Yeah, because I've got a set of Philips on at the moment. They don't have any noise cancelling on them or anything like that, but they are pretty good. I mean, I can't hear anything in the background, but you can pick up certain noises here and there. They're not, as good as probably the Sennheiser ones.
Well, check out the show notes, and we'll pull out a couple of suggestions, and you can use that as a starting point at least.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah,
headphones are one of those things. It's very personal taste, isn't it? Okay, cool. Another one I've got on the list is possibly a drone. Now, drones, once again, they they range in price quite a lot, depending
Mm.
on the size that you want. You can get some fairly small mini drones for
Mm.
around £10 to £20.
Yeah.
But then you can get some pretty large, multi-bladed drones with cameras on them,
Yeah,
and
the crazy
you
ones.
know,
Yeah.
much longer range
Mm.
for hundreds and hundreds. So something mid-range. You can get something with at least a HD camera on there. You may not get 4K footage, but as a Christmas present, it's probably good enough. And especially if it's the first drone that anyone's ever used, it's probably a good, practice drone
Yeah, I think
to see if they're really
I'd
into
like
it.
that. That would be something I'd like to get into. Drones and stuff. I know someone who's got one, like he spent about £800-900 on one, the Phantom, I think it's called. But definitely to get started, it'd be really nice to get one of these little miniature kind of tiny ones that does everything. If it's got the video capability on it, brilliant. But that's not really necessary. It's a case of just learning how to pilot the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and you can even get small ones which you can fly around your house as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So you might bump into your TV now and then, but they're small enough where they shouldn't cause any real damage.
Mm.
So you want to look for the more of a toy drone rather than a professional
Yeah, yeah.
filming drone
Mm.
in that sort of budget. And I don't know if there's any rules with flying a drone. I don't know for something for that sort of size.
I think it's built into them now. They were saying that because the legislation was passed after what happened at Heathrow Airport, or was it Gatwick Airport? I can't remember now.
Gatwick.
Yeah, so there's some kind of thing in there now. It doesn't allow them to go over. Well, no, I tell a lie. You can go to any height you want, but it kind of warns you
Right.
on there. So yeah, I read about that. But it doesn't limit you on your height and stuff because people can reverse engineer these things anyway. So you can.
And I
remove
suppose
that.
if they're being sold on the likes of Amazon and so on, then
Yeah.
they're made for the public. So
Exactly.
you
What are
can't
gonna
expect everyone to, go and apply for a drone license
do? Yeah, exactly.
to go and play with a toy. So anyway, that's one to consider.
Mm.
Go on then. You take the next one.
The next one, okay. Related to what we're doing, it's a web dev course, and that's I actually subscribed to this. I think it was for you. I think you might have sent the link to me, or it was another friend of mine. It's how I, started getting involved with JavaScript and learning JavaScript. So it's wesboss.com /courses, and it's just a really good place for you to like learn JavaScript, especially for a beginner. It's got practical lessons on there, so you can actually, when you're actually learning and creating code, you're actually using it for something. You're actually building something, and it's functional, and you can figure out what's going on, and what parts of the code do what in that particular project that you're working on. So we've got a discount code for the courses on wesboss.com, and if you use inspect, INSPECT, you get $10 off your course. Is that the subscription that we're getting?
It's $10 off any of the courses.
Any of the courses? Okay, cool.
Yeah, any of the paid courses, obviously. And Wes has just released his beginner JavaScript course. He just launched it last week. So now's a good time as any to get hold of that. He had a Black Friday deal on. So if you did miss that, then if you use code INSPECT, then you can just still get $10 off the current price now.
Yeah, I remember his 30-day JS thing that he was doing. I think it was a challenge. That's when I got involved. And that was brilliant. Just flying through
that was a free one.
Yeah.
That was a free course. But yeah, like I said, he's got a few paid courses, a few free courses. So yeah, you could invest in one of the free courses and buy that either for yourself or buy it for a friend, buy a license for it, and get yourself $10 off by using the code INSPECT. So thanks, Wes, for that.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Okay, another one. This is probably, I think this is quite a cool one. You could get someone a streaming service gift card. So this could be a gift card to, say, Spotify or Netflix or Apple Music or whatever, really. There's so many streaming services out there now. And all of them seem to have some sort of gift card where you can purchase for other people. What I found is that you can't really buy these gift cards from the services themselves. You need to go to like a supermarket or to the likes of Amazon or a third party and basically buy these gift cards and then just give them out. And essentially, you're just giving the money off. So you can choose how much you want to invest into that. If you want to pay for a full year, then pay for a full year. You could pay for just 3 months worth. But But it's a good way to get someone onto one of these streaming services, especially if they're always trying to use your account.
Amazon are doing a really good one at the moment. Amazon Music, you get unlimited, and it's 99p for 4 months.
Okay.
So, but I don't know if there's a gift card or a gift voucher linked to that. Might be worth looking into. But 99p for 4 months, you can't go wrong, and that's
Yeah.
unlimited as well.
Yeah, best thing, just check the streaming services websites first and see if they offer a gifting option. From what I found, most of them don't. And then otherwise, you can look at anywhere where they sell gift cards to other stores, and you should be able to find one for at least Netflix, Spotify, and Apple Music, if nothing else. Alrighty, cool. What else you got?
Mini consoles. I don't know when these became all the rage. Maybe a couple of years ago. What was the first mini console that came out? Was it the SNES or the NES?
I think it was the Super Nintendo came out before the NES.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But one of those two.
Well, my wife bought me one last Christmas, and I've been so bad. I'm not even opened the bloody thing. And the crazy thing is, this week I just ordered I needed an RCA to HDMI converter. That's the only thing. It comes with the old school connection. But yeah, that's being set up tonight, so I'll be playing on that. But these things are crazy. So you don't even have to be a hardcore gamer. Everyone likes to get involved in computer games, right? Some way, shape, or form. Whether you just want to, play a little bit or really get involved in a story-led game. But these consoles, the old school consoles, I think everyone kind of got involved with a Sega Mega Drive or a Super Nintendo or even a Commodore 64. I remember the Atari, the old school Atari, and the Spectrum and things like that. So I've got the Mega Drive, but you've also got the NES. There's a SNES version of it, and I think there's a Genesis one as well. So that's the American version of the Mega Drive.
Yeah, there's also the PlayStation 1 as well.
Yeah, PS1.
As a mini console as well. And it's good because obviously it's quite small. It doesn't take the discs.
Yeah.
The games are built in. I don't think you can add any more games to it.
No.
But they tend to come with all the classics. So it should be enough to just relive some of that nostalgia.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to set it up, because sometimes you just want to blast 10-15 minutes on some non-serious gaming, and that could be Golden Axe or something on the Mega Drive, Mortal Kombat, the good retro stuff that we used to play back in the day. Simple stuff, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we've got a Super Nintendo at work in the office, a mini one, and it's set up in our breakout room. And I used to just go in there at lunchtime sometimes and go and play a little bit of A Link to the Past or a little bit of Mario Kart.
Nice, yeah.
And like you said, it's not serious gaming.
Nah.
It's good fun. It's got that nostalgia feel to it. The controllers are the original ones. The only thing that I don't like about them is that they still come with wired controllers.
Yeah.
It would be nice if they were wireless, but that's what keeps the cost what it is, and most of these are around about £60 to buy.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's only the Super Nintendo one which is a little bit more expensive, but I suppose that's one of the more popular ones.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right. Developers, designers, we tend to have the stereotype of liking coffee. So another idea is you can get them a mini espresso machine. So the product is called a Nanopresso, and basically what it is a small water flask which has a little cartridge in there where you can compress the air, and when you compress the air, it creates pressure, which you then use to force the water through the espresso, the coffee grounds, to create your espresso, because that's how you create an espresso, with pressurized water. And it's a sort of thing. It's pretty portable. It's like the size of a small water bottle, and it's a good way to get an espresso without having a machine that you've got to plug in, and something that you can just pop into your bag.
Yeah, I had a meeting with a friend of mine a couple of weeks ago, and it was in the morning. He just bust his thing out, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" He didn't say a word, and he just done the thing. I was like, I can't believe what I'm seeing right now, a portable espresso machine. It's crazy. So yeah, that had to go on the list. So yeah, man, I definitely need to get my hands on one of those.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, cool. So next we've got the Raspberry Pi. Now, I'm not too sure how many people know about this thing, but it's a clever piece of kit, and it allows you to build and create anything you want really, using like circuit board and different sort of components and parts and pieces. And my cousin got his hands on one, and he created a little games console with an emulator on there, so he's able to play Nintendo 64 games, Super Nintendo games, and things like that. But you can literally create anything with these things. I know somebody else who created a remote control, or like a universal remote or something, to work with any kind of smart TV. So pretty powerful piece of kit. Um, I've not actually used one. I wouldn't mind trying one of these things out. I don't know if you've used one yourself.
No, I haven't really used one myself. I've got a colleague at work who's done similar to what you're saying and created a little console,
Mm.
created an emulator, and another one who uses it to power some of their smart devices.
Yeah, yeah.
But essentially, it's a Linux computer,
Mm.
a tiny Linux computer in a box. Has Wi-Fi built in. It has Bluetooth. It has HDMI outputs, USB inputs. Um, I think some of them even have like infrared sensors on them. There's lots of different configurations you can get from Raspberry Pi.
So when I first heard about these, they were really basic. It didn't have any of that kind of stuff on it. It was very, very basic stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
obviously these
crazy.
things are getting better and better every year, um, and you can configure them as well. So you can buy these Raspberry Pi kits, which have all the hardware, all the software, and like a getting started guide in there.
Mm.
And there's a whole community base around these as well, where you can download software from other people, and there's a big community of people just helping out and how to configure them. So yeah, there's some pretty creative solutions that you can create with these.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, definitely worth trying, and they're pretty cheap as well.
Mm.
All right, cool. So before we get into the next one, I just want to take a moment to tell you about today's sponsor. We're sponsored today by Stickermule. Now, you guys know who Stickermule are. They're the guys who create those stickers that you see on the backs of everyone's laptops. Now, Stickermule have just released this new tool called Trace, which is a free tool, and it's for instantly removing the background from any photo that you upload. So all you do is you upload your photo, and then the Trace machine learning and AI will recognize the complicated details of the main subject, and it'll basically cut out that subject from the photo, leaving you with a transparent background. After you trace the object, you can then download the image with a transparent background, or you can replace the background with another image or with a color. And then you can also even use that image to go and get some die-cut stickers printed from Stickermule as well. So it's a pretty cool tool. It's something that you need to really play about with to see how it works. Trace is totally free to use. All you need is a Stickermule account, which is also free. So head over to stickermule.com/trace today and start tracing your favorite photos. Thank you to Stickermule for sponsoring the show. Okay, and we're back. So while we're on the subject of Stickermule and stickers, another thing that you could get for your designer developer friends is a sticker pack for them to use on their laptops. Now, you can buy sticker packs from pretty much anywhere, really. Obviously, you can go to Stickermule and you can design your own and get some custom ones printed from there. And you can get them as sort of die-cut stickers or square stickers, round ones, rounded corners, or any other shape that you can decide. But you can also just go to places like Amazon and buy ready-made sticker packs. And you can get these for various different like themes. So you can get like programming ones, or you can get design-related ones, or you can get music-related ones. It doesn't have to be these sorts of topics. It can be whatever that person's interested in. So yeah, pack of stickers shouldn't cost you too much. 5, 10, 15 pounds. You should be able to get a decent amount of stickers, which they can then stick all over their laptop.
Sounds good. And next we've got the Amazon Echo and Google Home. Now, I don't have one of these. You've got one of these, right?
I've got a few of these, yeah.
You've got a few of these.
Well, I've got a few Echoes, and I've got a Google Home as well.
Right. I've not got involved yet, but from what I know, they're pretty amazing, and they pretty much automate everything in your life, right?
Yeah, so maybe I should take this one.
Yeah, you got to take this one because...
All right.
Yeah, all I know is the basics. It will set an alarm for you, play some music for you, things like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that you can do, and there's so many third-party plugins that you can get for them as well, or apps, I suppose.
Right, okay.
To do basically anything you want, really. The Google Home that I've just got the small one. It's now called the Google Nest, I think. I've got that here on my desk, and I mainly use that for setting timers, for controlling the heater, which I've got in my office, turning it on and off by voice because it's on the other side of the room.
Right.
And it also gives me notifications for meetings and things like that if I have it turned on. The Amazon Echoes we have in all the other rooms of the house. So we've got one in the lounge, in all the bedrooms, and those are used for music. They're used for smart lighting, turn smart plugs and stuff like that on and off.
Cool.
I use them for the news in the morning. So just basically say, Alexa, read me the news or tell me today's headlines or whatever. And then there's just all sorts. My kids use it for the homework sometimes to check how to spell words which they know how to say but don't know how to spell.
Right. Okay.
Get the definitions of words, maybe get some facts about something for their homework.
That's pretty
it
cool.
does a quick search on Wikipedia if you haven't got your laptop close by hand.
Yeah.
And they're just really useful. And obviously all the home automation stuff is just brilliant. You can go crazy with it. But they're pretty cheap to start with, the small ones, and they're really useful. So I definitely recommend getting one for someone who hasn't got one so far.
I think I'm going to get one for myself this Christmas. It's
Yeah.
be done. That sounds really cool. I didn't know you can get the plugins for them. That's crazy. I had no idea. To extend the functionality, right?
Yeah, it's not really extending the functionality. The functionality is the same. It's basically to tie into different services.
Right. Okay. Different services that you've got running.
So let's say, like in my house, my thermostat is a company called Hive.
Yeah.
Which is by British Gas, only available in the UK. And to make that work with voice commands, I need to install the Hive app.
Right. I get
to
you.
my Alexa account. So that's what it is. You just basically need to connect the two accounts so that they recognize each other.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but you can install games on there as well. So you can have like a guess the song game.
Oh, right. Okay.
So you can say like to Alexa or Google, let's play guess the song.
Yeah.
And it'll play like a 10-second clip of a song.
Right.
And then you have to shout out the answer.
That's pretty cool.
So there's things like that. So it can be quite fun.
Yeah.
I don't really do that sort of stuff on it. Bit more practical uses. But yeah, there's all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, no, the home automation side of it's really good. I mean, that's all the rage right now. Everyone's kind of going that route. And I guess this is probably a cheaper way to get into home automation rather than spending, thousands and thousands of pounds on, pro kit and stuff like that. Control.
Yeah, and it's one of the things that you definitely need, because if you're going to be automating your house, what's more automated than using your voice? You don't want to be pressing buttons on your phone. So it's a pretty essential bit of kit if you are trying to get into automation.
Okay.
Just off the back of that as well, this isn't on our list, but I recommend getting some smart plugs as well, because then with the smart plugs you can turn any dumb device into a smart device.
Cool.
A device that just needs to be turned on and off, like a lamp.
Yeah.
You could just add it to a smart plug and off you go.
That's really handy, actually. I'm definitely going to have to get myself one of these, because we've got bedside lamps, right? And when we bought them, they have the touch sensitive platform, so you just tap it and it sort of gets brighter and brighter, but you've got to get the right bulb for it, and it's a nightmare trying to find the bulbs for it, so you never got around to getting the bulb. So I'm thinking one of these things in there.
A smart plug probably won't work with touch based lamps.
Okay.
It needs to be something that where you can leave the lamp on. It needs to be a device which you can turn off from the plug socket.
Right,
and turn back on from there. So imagine if you turn the plug socket on and off.
Yeah.
If your lamp works, then it'll work. If you need to use the actual device to turn the thing on and off, then it won't work.
I just want to get that thing on and off. So it goes into the plug and it's got on and off switch there. So it relies on that to be turned on and off. But you can control it by tapping on the thing. But I don't care about that. It's a case of using the smart plugs with Amazon Echo or the Google Nest. That's pretty cool.
All right, cool.
Nice.
So then you take the next one.
Okay, next we've got the wireless phone charger. I've got one of these. I've got 3 of these, actually. I've got the official Samsung one, which is like a desktop kind of, it's a standing one. So you put your phone on it and it kind of faces you on your desk, which is pretty cool. And then the other 2 are just round kind of like bases, which you just leave your phone on there and it just charges your phone and just don't worry about it. I mean, they're really handy. No wires involved, no clutter. The actual device has a wire on it, so that's plugged into maybe your laptop or something like that. But there's no additional wires from your phone going into it or anything like that. So, it just makes sense, man. I don't know why these things didn't come about years ago. Um, I'll give you just a little rough background on this. When I used to work at Carphone Warehouse, we watched this video by Motorola. This was back in, was it 2001, 2002 maybe? And they released a video which showed us the future of mobile phones and mobile technology. And in that video, they showed us a table, and you leave your phone on the table, and it will just charge your phone. And that still hasn't been released yet for the consumers. I know they're out there, but it's not readily available for consumers to go and buy from the shop or anything like that. But this is the closest we're going to get to it now. Wireless desktop chargers and things like that. But yeah, pretty cool piece of kit and definitely worth investing in.
Yeah, they're pretty good. You can get something similar to what you're saying, like this table thing from IKEA. It's basically a table which has one of these wireless chargers mounted underneath it.
It's mounted in there, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's mounted underneath. So there's a particular spot on the
Right.
table where you'd have to put your phone. It's not a case where you could just drop it anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got a wireless charger a couple of weeks ago because like I said on a previous episode, I got the new iPhone 11, which now has wireless charging in it, and it's good. I've got it on my desk, and yeah, I've got the flat one, so it doesn't stand up. But yeah, you don't need to mess around with the wires. You just pop it on there and just leave it. And the thing I like about it the most is that the actual power cable comes out the back
Yeah.
and goes, back and then down behind my desk.
Yeah.
Whereas, and so that when I put my phone on there, the phone is facing towards me.
Yeah.
And there's no cable sticking out of it. Exactly. Whereas if I was using a cable, then the cable would be coming out of the side that's facing me.
Yeah.
So then I'd have this wire across my desk. So that's the thing I like about it the most, is that the wire's, gone towards the back and out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just set it down and forget about it.
Yeah. I don't know how good they are in terms of the speed at which they charge. The ones I've got, the Samsung one's pretty good. The other two they're like unbranded kind of things. They're not as fast as the Samsung one.
It depends on the plug that you use with it.
Right. Okay.
So the one I got as well, it didn't come with its own adapter. It only came with the cables.
Right. Okay.
It came with two cables, a USB-A and a USB-C cable. And I've got it plugged into into my dock that I've got on my desk, which is like an 85 watt power supply.
Right.
So it gets fast charging on that. But if I was to plug it into the plug that came with the iPhone or just any other USB plug, then it probably won't give me the right power to do fast charging. And it'll just be like a normal trickle charge then.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can get them you can buy wireless chargers with the adapter as well. But then they just, obviously it incorporates the cost of the adapter as well.
Yeah.
So if you buy one without the adapter, you can get them for around about £15 to £20. And with it pretty much doubles or triples the price.
Yeah.
Goes to about £45 to £60.
Definitely worthwhile investing in that there.
Yeah, because most modern phones now have wireless charging capabilities. So
yeah,
now is a good time to get one. A few years ago, maybe not so, but yeah, now is a good time.
Especially for iPhone users, because those cables are notoriously known for, breaking.
Yeah,
if
true.
There's a constant bend in it, you know what I mean? It's never been addressed.
No, of course. And they're not cheap either if you're going to buy original lightning cables. One of those will cost you £30. You can buy a wireless charger for less than that.
Exactly. So,
okay.
Yeah, no-brainer.
Definitely. While we're on the subject of charging, another one would be a portable power bank. So these come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, depending on how many devices you're planning on charging at once, how many charges you plan to get out of the device. But if you want a fairly small one, you can normally get like maybe two full phone chargers out of there. And it's just a little battery pack that you can pop into your bag and plug in a cable. And it's just normally a USB-A that comes out, a standard USB. So you're not restricted onto what you can charge with it. If you get a big enough one, you could probably even charge your laptop with it. But they're really handy. I tend to always take one with me when I'm traveling abroad or, going away for a couple of days. Even when I'm in the UK, just keep one in the bag. You just never know when you're going to need it.
Yeah, I've got one as well. I make use of it, usually for a mobile phone. That's the main thing if I'm out and about, especially on like flights and things like that. It's really handy. I've got a little portable one as well. It's small. I got hold of one. The first one I got hold of was pretty big. It's almost A5 in size, and it's pretty chunky. It's got all kinds of ports on it though. It's one of these like super multifunctional kind of ones. But then I got an even smaller one than that, and it's about credit card size, maybe a little bit bigger than that. And yeah, it's just really handy. Just like a wireless phone charger, as handy as that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I've got a Belkin one, which has two outputs on it, which
yeah,
both give 2.4 amps, which
okay,
is not going to give you a fast charge, but it's enough to
mm,
charge an iPad on
yeah,
them as well. So that's the one I've got about that size.
cool.
All right, my next one on the list is a subscription to a service called Headspace. And what Headspace is, it's an app which helps you meditate and just basically get into a state of mindfulness. It is subscription based. You can do monthly or yearly. They've got currently got an offer on where the yearly subscription is down from around £78 to £50, and you can buy this as a gift for someone as well, so it doesn't have to be tied to your email address. And yeah, so it's a basically like 10 minutes a day. You're supposed to listen to this app, and it guides you through um, various forms of meditation and breathing and just mindfulness. And it's a good way to sort of kickstart your day before you get into the stresses of work, and just get you into the zone and
Yeah,
a bit of peace in your life. I've tried it a few times. I haven't got a subscription. I've tried their free account.
yeah,
You get the first few lessons, lessons.
mm,
You get those for free. But it's definitely worth checking out, especially if the person you're buying it for has got fairly high stress job,
mm.
or they do a lot of traveling, a lot of commuting. They can maybe list it on the commute, and just get them geared up, ready for the day.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll have a look into that as well. Okay, next on the list is the Polaroid Zip mobile printer, and these things are pretty cool. And I've got well, I don't have one. My sister has one of these sort of like re-released Polaroid cameras, the digital version of it, and they're bloody amazing. But it's going to cost more than £100. So this piece of kit is just a little mobile printer. It's probably about the size of like a mobile phone. Say the Samsung S9 or S10 is about that kind of size, maybe a little bit thicker. And what it does, it allows you to connect to it via Bluetooth or NFC, and you can take your pictures on your phone, and then using this piece of kit, you can edit your pictures. It's got like a little minimal sort of like editing suite built into it, and you can add emojis to your pictures, you can edit them. I don't know how far you can go with it, but you can do quite a bit. And then you can print off your photographs, and that's the really cool part of it. You can because these days I was listening to Joe Rogan a podcast a few weeks ago, and he was talking about how we're so into our tech these days that we once we're gone, once humans leave the planet, and humanity's finished, there'll be nothing left. There'll be no sign that we ever existed. And that's the crazy
Mm,
thing, because
yeah,
everything's digital, everything's stored in the cloud, on databases and hard drives and things like that. But keeping a nice little photograph, a physical photograph, is always cool. And I've always kept photographs of myself when I was a kid. Like my parents have kept them. I've got some of myself, and even like in my teens and stuff. So I always look back at them and just remember the good times and things like that. So these kind of kits, there's quite a few out there, and this is the Polaroid one. There's loads of other ones out there, different versions and things, but this one's probably the best of the bunch. And it's fun. You could be out and about. You could be at a party, and you can just take pictures and print them out there and then and just hand them out to people. So nice piece of kit. I'll definitely get involved in that.
and it prints them out onto actual
Yeah,
Polaroids.
yeah, it does it. Yeah, onto actual Polaroids. That's right. So it's
Yeah, nice.
definitely worth looking. It's under £100, and that's a bloody bargain.
Yeah, they're cool. Nice. All right. Last one we got on our list is a bento stack travel case. Basically, what this is a small case for all of your basically travel peripherals that you might need. So like chargers, cables, pens, pencils, and all that sort of stuff. All these little loose bits and bobs that you might need to travel with.
Yeah,
And the name comes from bento boxes, which are, like a lunchbox, which you use, basically like stacking lunchboxes. So it's basically a couple of small cases or one case with lots of different compartments, and they fold up into this nice little compact package. And they've just got lots of little pockets for everything that you need, really. So if you've got a person who travels a lot, this is probably a good idea for them.
Yeah, definitely. I saw that and I thought I'm going to need one of those. Main reason is when I'm traveling anywhere, my stuff's all over the place in my bag. So, it could be my USB cable, my adapters, earpieces, anything like that. It's just all over the place. And, I tend to lose stuff like that as well. This thing just keeps everything nice, neat, and tidy. Yeah. And you can use it in a desk as well. You can, when you're at the office, you can just keep it on your desk and keep everything in one sort of place as well, can't you?
Yeah, exactly. And what's a good idea to do with these is to have a kit which you basically don't take the cables out of. So it's a bit of an investment. If you make sure that you've got sort of doubles of your phone chargers, your laptop chargers, your HDMI cables and USB sticks and stuff like that, and you can put them all into this bag, pop it in your wardrobe, and then when you need to travel, just grab the whole bag and it's ready to go. And you don't need to think, oh, have I packed my charger? Have I packed the charger for this device and this device? You've got to think about lightning cables, USB-C, USB-A,
Yeah.
God knows what else. If you've got this little pack of cables ready to go, then off you go.
Yeah.
You can stick your little battery pack in there, stick your wireless charger in there as well. Yeah, very handy.
Perfect.
Alrighty. I think that's pretty much it on our list. So, we've got quite a few suggestions there. Not your usual stuff that you might think of buying for people, but hopefully some good ideas and some useful ideas. And people in life will probably appreciate these. I know I would if anyone bought any of these for me. So if you're listening out there, hint, I'll do any of these.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. I suppose we don't need to do recommendations this week because the whole show has been
that. It literally is.
Yeah. But is there anything else that you want to mention that's not tech related or gift related?
Probably not. I'm just been recovering from a cold, and yeah, I've just been really out of the game over the last week or two. So yeah, don't really have much to talk about in regards to recommendations.
I'll add one thing to the list. It's a website called Letterboxd, which is the word letterbox with a D on the end, and it's a movie site where you can um, add movies to your watch list and say what you have watched and what you want to watch. You can rate and review, and you can see what your friends are watching and what they've watched in the past, and you can follow people and you can create lists and all sorts. It's basically like it's all the best stuff that you wanted from IMDb, but it's in a more of a social sort of site. Where you can just basically see what your people are watching, what your friends are watching, and tell people what you're watching. It's pretty good. I just signed up for it a couple of weeks ago. I've been adding loads of films to my favorites, and as I've been watching them, I've been adding them as well.
Is that free to sign up to, or is it?
Yeah, it's free. There is a paid tier as well, which unlocks a few things, but not important really. The pro account, what does it unlock? It gets rid of ads on the website.
Right. Okay.
No big deal.
Yeah.
And you can personalize your profile in a few extra ways. And you can get a few extra filters.
Right.
But for free, I mean, the site is pretty useful. I've been adding things to my profile as I've been watching them. And then what it does, it creates a diary entry for each time you watch a film.
Right.
And you can also say, like, if this is the first time you've watched it or if you've seen it in the past.
Yeah.
And then you can go back and you can see, like, what have you been watching this month? What have you been watching this year? And then they send you emails every now and then as well to give you a summary of your viewing habits.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
It'd be quite interesting. Obviously, I've only been using it for a couple of weeks, so
Yeah.
I think once you've got a 6 months to a year worth of data in there, it'll be quite interesting to see what your movie watching habits have been like.
that is pretty cool. Because when I was in Marbella, me and my uncle out there, we were having a chat about putting a spreadsheet together and sharing it on like Google Drive, Google Docs, and stuff, and just putting movies in there once you've seen them, and recommend movies and the actors in them, and like taglines and things like that. But this is just literally just solved my problem now. So
You don't need to do it anymore.
yeah,
So,
forget it.
yeah. So sign up. It's free. And follow myself and Kay, and we'll put our profiles in the show notes, and you can see what we've been watching.
Cool, man.
You can only list your 4 favorite films though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on your profile.
Why is that?
Like your all-time favorite films. I don't know. They've just limited it to 4 for some reason. So you got to be quite selective with those.
Okay.
So I'll tell you what mine are. I've got Terminator 2,
Yeah.
Donnie Brasco,
Oh, that's a good film.
The Shawshank Redemption,
Yeah, yeah.
and Predator.
Predator.
This is the thing, because it's only 4.
Oh,
I
you've
added those
gone.
first.
Okay.
I added those 4 first, but then I've thought about it. It's like I do want to add some more, but I don't want to remove these 4 because these are still 4 of my favorite films.
Are you saying you're only limited to 4 on the?
No.
Oh, this is on your profile. These 4
on
are
your
showing
own profile.
Right. Okay.
It shows your favorite films.
This is what people can see.
Which
your
people
profile.
can see, but
Okay.
it only shows that you can only set 4, and then below that it shows your viewing activity,
Right.
and
okay.
that is obviously a never-ending list.
Yeah.
But on your profile, the ones that you want to highlight as your all-time favorites, it only gives you 4.
Oh, you got to be bloody careful, then, haven't you? I might have Predator in my top 4. No. Nah.
I love Predator, brilliant film. First one, the original Arnie film.
Get to the
No,
chopper. It is a good film, but I just wouldn't put it in my top 4 or top 5.
I might have to change that, but I don't know what to replace it with at the moment. It's got to be something all-time favorite, because like I watched Joker recently. That was brilliant.
Brilliant
I'd definitely
film.
I'd put that in my favorites, but I don't know if it's my all-time top 4 favorites.
It's got to stand the test of time. You've got to watch it a couple of times and then say, yeah, you know what? It's there. It's one of my all-time favorite films.
I might change it for Home Alone.
Nah, come on, man. Nah.
Home Alone is something you can watch all year round, anytime. Never get tired of it.
But it doesn't feel right unless you're watching during Christmas period. That's when it's like, yeah, it's a good film.
Okay. Well, seeing as we're in the Christmas period now, everyone go and watch Home Alone. Makes
Yeah.
you feel better.
It's that time of year.
It's probably on TV tomorrow anyway.
Yeah, probably is.
All right, we could.
No,
Anyway,
nice
that's
one.
enough for today.
Cool.
Catch you next time, mate.
Yeah, and you.
Bye.